Today, we're going to talk about the top 10 most dangerous viruses in the world. Viruses are tiny microorganisms that can cause a wide range of diseases and illnesses, some of which can be fatal. With the recent global pandemic, it's important to understand the dangers of viruses and how to protect ourselves. So, let's get started. Zika virus. Starting off our list is the Zika virus. While this virus may not be as deadly as others on the list, it can cause serious birth defects in babies born to infected mothers. The virus is primarily spread through mosquito bites and is most commonly found in tropical and subtropical regions. Ebola virus. Next up is the Ebola virus, which causes a severe and often fatal illness. The virus is primarily found in sub-Saharan Africa and is spread through contact with infected bodily fluids. While there have been outbreaks in the past, the recent Ebola outbreak in West Africa in 2014 to 2016 was particularly devastating. Polio virus. Moving on to number 8, we have the polio virus. While a vaccine has been developed to protect against polio, the virus can still cause paralysis and other serious health problems. The virus is primarily spread through contaminated water and is most commonly found in developing countries. MERS-CoV virus. Now, let's talk about MERS-CoV, which stands for Middle East Respiratory Syndrome coronavirus. This virus first emerged in 2012 and primarily affects the respiratory system. While the virus is not as contagious as some others, it can cause severe respiratory illness and has a high mortality rate. SARS-CoV virus. Up next is SARS-CoV, which stands for Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome coronavirus. This virus first emerged in China in 2002 and quickly spread to other countries, causing a global outbreak. While the virus has since been contained, it caused significant illness and death during its initial outbreak. HIV virus. Moving on to number 5, we have HIV, which stands for Human Immunodeficiency virus. HIV attacks the immune system and can lead to AIDS, a condition in which the body is no longer able to fight off infections. While there is no cure for HIV, antiretroviral therapy can help manage the virus and prevent the progression to AIDS. Hantavirus. Now, let's talk about hantavirus, which is primarily found in rodents. The virus can be transmitted to humans through contact with rodent droppings, urine, or saliva. While the virus is rare, it can cause a severe respiratory illness and has a high mortality rate. Influenza virus. Up next is the influenza virus, which is responsible for seasonal flu outbreaks every year. While most people recover from the flu without complications, it can cause serious illness and even death in some individuals, particularly the elderly and those with weakened immune systems. Rabies virus. Moving on to number 2, we have the rabies virus. While this virus is rare in developed countries, it is still a significant threat in many parts of the world. Rabies is primarily spread through the bite of an infected animal, and once symptoms develop, the disease is almost always fatal. SARS-CoV-2 virus. And finally, we have the virus that has dominated the headlines for the past 2 years, SARS-CoV-2, which causes COVID-19. This virus is highly contagious and has caused a global pandemic, with millions of cases and deaths worldwide. While vaccines and other preventative measures